Hello from My Bike and Me. First of all, apologies for not posting any videos recently, and I'll explain as this video carries on. But first of all, what I want you to look at is that I've had forward controls fitted to my Superlow. It's something that I wanted to do when I ordered the bike, but because I'd never ridden the bike before with forward controls, and I'd ordered my big radius and a few other bits and pieces, I thought I'll keep the cost down, I'll see how we go, and maybe get the forward controls fitted later. So that was that. Got the bike, got my big radius and my sissy bar and lots of other little bits and pieces that if you've followed this channel you'll see the other little bits and pieces that I've got. So all was well. And what I never really noticed when I bought the bike, on a Superlow the controls aren't really mid, they're slightly forward of mid position, and they're about here. And what I never noticed was the brake pedal was quite close to the exhaust, to the heat shield on the exhaust. Never really noticed it. Certainly it never touched it or anything, so all was well. And then we went to, earlier this year, we went to Snowdonia and the Brecon Beacons on a camping trip, and on the way around the Brecon Beacons I started to notice, when I applied my rear brake, I started to notice a slight clicking sound, and just a little bit strange, but didn't give it too much thought. And then I realised at one point that I didn't have a back brake. Little bit concerning, to say the least. And what had happened is, by that time this bike had done about 2,000 miles. What had happened is, because it had obviously, everything had loosened up a little bit of wear on the back brake pads. What had happened was the brake lever, as it was coming forward, was actually starting to hit the exhaust, which meant that's as far as a brake lever could go. So therefore I'd lost control of my rear brake. So we managed to get home okay, no big dramas. It was a little bit, had to be a little bit careful obviously, but no big dramas. Got home okay. Phoned the dealership up, because also at the same time the lower exhaust started to rattle a little bit. That one of the baffles sounded like it was a little bit loose. So I phoned the dealership up, which was Sykes in Sussex, and said to them, look, I've got this problem, I've lost the rear brake, and also I've got a rattle in my bottom exhaust. So they explained to me that they were fully booked for the next 3 weeks. However, clearly I couldn't ride the bike, so they'll come down and pick the bike up all the way from Sussex to where I am in Berkshire. And they come and pick the bike up, take it back, and they'll fit it in as soon as they could. The first thing they did was they noticed that the nick, very slight nick in the exhaust. So rather than muck about, they just replaced on the whole exhaust. All done under warranty. All the exhaust was replaced, brand new. And then they phoned me up and said, look, you know, there's no real fix for what you've got with the exhaust that you've got. We suggest that you have forward controls. And I said, well, that's great, that really suits me down to the ground, because that's exactly what I'd like to do. So they then fitted the forward controls for me, and delivered the bike back last week. So as I said, they were fully booked for 3 weeks. So by the time they'd identified what the issues were, ordered the parts, it was the best part of 4 weeks by the time I got the bike back. But they did a fantastic job. Typical Sykes, first class customer service, can't fault them. I'm really pleased with it. The work they did was superb. They didn't muck about trying to repair or just repair the heat shield or even replace the heat shield. They just fitted a new exhaust and no questions asked. They were really great. So really, I suppose the real point of the video is, if you've got a Superlow and you want or have big radius exhaust and you want or have forward mid controls, you're going to have a problem. If you've got a super low and you want these exhausts, you've got really, as part of getting the exhaust fitted, you really do need to have the forward controls fitted, otherwise you will have problems. Forward controls and the big radius or the super low go together as far as I'm concerned. Sykes hadn't noticed this problem before. It's not something that they'd come across, you know, I never gave it a thought. When I was cleaning the bike, I'd never really noticed how close the pedal was to the exhaust. It never interfered with anything. It was only once I'd done about 2,000 miles that it came about. So there we are. That's a very short video really to say, sorry I haven't uploaded any videos recently, but I haven't had the bike. And if you've got a super low and you want these exhausts, as part of that, you've got to have the added expense of fitting the forward controls. I've been out in it a couple of times with the forward controls. Absolutely love it. It's like riding a different bike. It really is. It makes you feel better. It's more comfortable. Certainly at times I get a bit of cramp in my hips. I can't seem, and that's because you're sort of scrunched up to a certain extent, and you sort of, when you get that cramp, you're starting to stretch your legs out. Don't need to now. It makes such a difference. I wish I'd got them when I ordered the bike. I really do. But anyway, there we go. That's me and my big radius, and how my big radius made my rear brake fail. So until the next time, you guys take care. Bye bye.